I hate to break it to you, but a lot of the information you're hearing about hand, foot, mouth disease is probably wrong. Do you know how on earth to get rid of hand, foot, mouth disease? Is there a treatment that even works? Do you know how long a kid with hand, foot, mouth disease is contagious for? I'm Dr. Williams. I'm a board certified pediatrician. Make sure you're following my page if you're looking for helpful pediatric advice that is actually evidence-based. I apologize, I'm gonna talk kind of fast on this video because there's a lot to cover. Hand, foot, mouth disease is a crazy common childhood illness. It's going around quite a bit right now, and it can actually make a kid pretty ill, so let's make sure you know what to do. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you some ways to avoid it altogether. Hand, foot, mouth disease is caused by a virus that causes a rash on, you guessed it, your child's palms, the soles of their feet, and inside their mouth. Now really, hand, foot, mouth disease can cause a rash anywhere it wants to, but there's very few diseases that cause a rash on their palms and on their soles, so that's where it gets its name from. If I told you what I really think hand, foot, mouth disease should be called, I would get censored off of TikTok. It usually starts with a fever, a sore throat, feeling a little crummy, maybe a cough, maybe some congestion, before those little pustules and blisters pop up. Symptoms tend to be worse in the first few days, but the symptoms can last even a week or so, and actually after they resolve, don't be surprised if you see some peeling of their fingers and their toes. Some kids will even lose a fingernail or two. And hand, foot, mouth disease is crazy contagious, and the rules about how long they're contagious for is a little bit muddy. Generally, we say once they're not having any new or open blisters, but I have to tell you guys the dirty secret is that your child can shed the virus in their stool for months. Now, if I'm gonna give you one hand, foot, mouth disease hack or treatment or remedy, it's gonna be to keep your darn kid hydrated. Those sores inside their mouth can be incredibly painful, and it gets very difficult to keep them hydrated. In my clinic, I like to prescribe these lollipops that are medicated with some numbing agents so that you're more likely to get some hydration into them when their mouth doesn't hurt. But depending on their age, Tylenol and ibuprofen are great options too. When it comes to hand, foot, mouth disease and hydration, I'm a big fan of ice cream and popsicles and smoothies and shakes, those kinds of things, because the cold feels very good on their mouths and throats. And also it's a great and sneaky way to get some calories in there. Here are some tools to help avoid hand, foot, mouth disease altogether. Make sure your child's preschool, school, daycare, whatever, are following these guidelines as well. Go ahead and pause to read and make sure you're following along for more helpful and evidence-based pediatric content.